So good morning, everyone. So this is Amer Shalaby. I'm a professor here in the Department of Civil and Mineral Engineering at the University of Toronto. I specialize in public transit planning and operations. I'm also the director of the Transit Analytics Lab. So I'll welcome every one of you to the 2023 TAL Research Day. This is the third research day since TAL's inception in 2020. So at the start of this event, I wish to acknowledge the land on which the University of Toronto operates. For thousands of years, it has been the traditional land of the Huron-Wendat, the Seneca, and most recently, the Mississaugas of the Credit River. Today, this meeting place is still the home to many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, and we at the University of Toronto are grateful to have the opportunity to work on this land. So, as I mentioned, this is the third annual research day. TAL was founded in 2020, and we had our first research day in 2021. As in previous years, really the purpose of the research day is to essentially update the transit data community, both the research community and the professional community, on TAL's research and outcomes and various activities. Also throughout the day, we hope to really stimulate discussions on different opportunities, research needs and priorities among all participants, and also ideally speaking, to foster collaborations among our community and partnerships to advance really the state of the art and state of practice in transit data analytics and decision making. So again, for those who are not familiar with TAL, just a quick introduction to the lab. TAL is meant really to serve as a common forum to promote transit decision making using data analytics. So the idea for TAL is to bring together under one roof transit researchers, data science researchers, transit agency and public sector practitioners, technology specialists and consultants, everyone really who's interested in transit decision making using data analytics. The idea is to bring all those together, so to exchange ideas and to find areas of mutual interest and to collaborate together in this area. So the specific goals of TAL is to foster and advance innovations in data-driven transit analytics, training of students in transit data analytics, also knowledge and technology transfer of the outcomes of TAL to the industry and to transit agencies. So today's effort, the research day, is a vehicle really to disseminate knowledge and disseminate information about our activities and about the outcomes of our research. And also one objective of TAL is to engage in the development of standards and integration models. So as we all know, transit agencies and transit researchers and practitioners are faced with a plethora of data sources, transit data sources, traditional ones like surveys, and those could be household surveys, speed surveys, as well as automatic vehicle location, APC, fare collection, and a number of other sources of data that are becoming more readily available and really have some potential and something to offer to transit analysis and modeling. And our approach here at TAL, like our sister labs in other parts of the world, is really to try to harness this data through a number of steps: data engineering, develop data analytics, with the end goal really of deriving insights and solutions. So the focus of TAL is on the box of analytics. We do a little bit of data engineering as well, but really our focus of our activities is on developing analytics at all levels: descriptive analytics like KPIs, dashboards, and maps; predictive analytics like simulation tools, statistical models, AI and machine learning models, and so on, as well as prescriptive analytics, which include optimization-based tools, reinforcement learning, and so on. Our scope at TAL really tries or attempts to span the full range and hierarchy of transit decision making, from strategic planning to tactical planning, service and operational planning, as well as real-time operational management. And our research really tries to cater to all the needs and opportunities and gaps and challenges under each one of those areas to the extent possible. Also, sitting in the heart of the city of Toronto, which has a multimodal transit system, we also try to cater to all transit modes, bus, rail, on-demand transit, as well as multimodal and integrated transit networks. So our research really tries to be encompassing of all of that. This is in just one slide, sort of the scope really of TAL. On the verticals, we have the modes. On the horizontals, we have the different levels of decision making. And we have research activities over the past 3 years that really sits in many of those boxes. I won't really have time to go over all of this, but in the last 2 years, we shared some of our research activities and outcomes. So before I give you a taste of what we've done in the past 2 years, so most of our research is done through partnerships and collaborations with the industry. This is both the private sector and the public sector, and sometimes even with nonprofit organizations. And we try to tap into also funding programs at the federal level and the provincial level. So the idea is we cannot really do this all by ourselves. We need data, we need funding, we need ideas. We need sometimes even tools to use in our research. So our effort really is a collaborative effort in partnership with various entities. And moving forward, this is also the idea, and hopefully today we can foster some of those collaborations and partnerships to the extent possible. So just to give you a quick idea of some of the research we accomplished over the past few years and things that we presented on in previous research days and workshops, we developed in a big effort, so-called the Transit Equity Dashboard, a dashboard that does really a number of, or that includes a number of analytics that process open transit data and also has some visualization tools to analyze transit equity in 7 US big regions. This was a very big effort. We did this for the Transit Center in the US in collaboration also with some US academic institutions, as well as a number of researchers from within University of Toronto. So this is an open really dashboard. You can visit it at that link underneath, and you can explore it, download data from there, and so on. We also concluded a big project, a 3-year project, developing social media analytics for customer satisfaction measurement and incident detection. So the idea is to harness and use the contents of social media, such as Twitter, to try to measure really the pulse of people's with respect to public transit, how they view public transit, what are their opinions, what kind of topics they discuss. So our system really has a number of tools that try to address all those objectives. We also were pretty active working on disruption management, specifically the bus bridging problem. We developed some tools to help transit agencies make real-time decisions on how many buses to deploy as for shuttle service when there's subway disruption, for example. We've been also very active in the area of scheduling, timetable development, transfer optimization, multi-depot bus scheduling, and we presented on all of those before. TSP, like new technologies, we've been also very active in this area. We developed some new algorithms of TSP, transit signal priority, that are multi-objective algorithms that try to optimize both speed and reliability at the same time, using some of the latest machine learning technologies, deep reinforcement learning and also connected vehicle technologies. We've also been doing some studies to evaluate the deployment of AV shuttles and its performance. So this just gives you a taste of what we've done and what we presented and shared in previous research days and workshops. The good news is that all of those research days have been captured in video, and they've been recorded, and they are all available on our YouTube channel. There's also so much information on our TAL website. So please spare a minute and just go explore both the website as well as the YouTube channel. There is so much content in there that might be of interest to you. So what do we expect from today? So today we're going to report on a number of studies that have been active over the past year or a bit longer. Those are research studies that try to tackle pressing transit issues like ridership recovery. This is really on the mind of everyone. How is ridership recovery happening? What are the factors influencing it, and so on? Staff shortage, ZEB deployment, zero emission bus deployment. So the studies that we are going to present today try to address those and other issues as well. Also, our studies will be developing, and you will see some solutions. Those are prediction models, simulations, optimization models, even chatbots that we are going to present today. And as I mentioned earlier, we do not focus on one mode over others, but as you will see today, that our solutions and our studies really span the full range of modes from bus, rail, and on-demand transit. Also, we try, being a data-focused lab, we try to take any opportunity to look at new data sources. And you will see here, for example, a heavy focus on the use of Wi-Fi data in our subway system here in Toronto. We also apply new methodologies and techniques like generative AI or large language models and temporal graph neural networks. So we try to harness and use those methods to the benefit of public transit. Some of those studies are near completion, so we have sort of near final results. Other are still midway, so we are showing some preliminary results. And others are actually still at relatively an early stage of development, and which really gives an opportunity for those who are interested, who would like to share data with us, for example, for those early stage studies, or partner with us if they are interested. So I hope that what you will see today will really trigger some interest of yours, and we will engage in some conversation and about possible collaboration. So the agenda is a little bit different from the one that was originally posted. So now we have a final agenda. So there's very, very minor changes. So right after this talk, my colleague, Dr. Brendan Hamley, is going to moderate a session on transit analytics to support planning. Then we'll have a break, and then the next one will be focused on rail performance, operations analytics to improve rail performance. We'll have a lunch break, and then we're quite fortunate to have among us Mr. John Levin from Metro Transit in Minneapolis in the US, who's a leader. Really, John is a leader in transit data analytics. So we'll engage him in some conversation about this, about really the state of the art now, state of practice, his views about the way forward, and so on. And after the keynote session, we'll have two more sessions, one on bus operations and one specifically on ZEBs. And we hope to wrap up by 4 p.m. or so. So this is in a nutshell, a quick overview of TAL, and also some heads up on what to expect today. I really hope that you enjoy the presentations of today. Our students and postdocs and researchers really at TAL have put a lot of effort in conducting those studies and also preparing for the research day. I hope you, enjoyed their presentations, and that's it for me. So I'll invite now my colleague, Dr. Brendan Hamady, who's just a quick word about Brendan. Brendan has been quite instrumental from day one of TAL to really help us guide our vision and guide also our conversations and collaborations with the industry. He's been really a great asset to TAL, and he's going to join me today to manage and moderate the different sessions. Also, I would like to acknowledge Ala Itani, who's a PhD candidate, who's also the main organizer of this event. And so, turn it over to you, Brendan.
Thank you, Amer. That's very nice to say. Just quickly, I'm an independent consultant, but I've been having the pleasure of helping Amer with the outreach and trying to get TAL launched and so forth. And just I've been especially interested in this because my whole career has been about bridging the gap between the research innovation worlds and the practitioner worlds. And I've, for example, been very involved in the Transportation Research Board, TRB, where I was for the last 4 years, chair of the Public Transportation Group, which has 12 committees, and previously was the chair of the Transit Planning Committee. And one of the reasons I really like working with Amer and the TAL team is it's one of the few academic institutions that really strives to do applied research, that tries to look at developing sophisticated tools and applications and uses of data, but that have real potential application and could help the industry improve its effectiveness and efficiency. So that's part of the reason I've been involved in this process. So as Amer mentioned, we've changed the order a little bit of the sessions, but all the content is basically what was in the draft agendas.